I think no, I thought they were. Wow, that really does not smell good, Wilbur. Ripping parts right now.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon! Bacon is my... Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my...
Happy Monday!
Yeah! Whoop, whoop! Come on, yeah!
Yeah.
Some guy last night said...
Yeah, you look like Jack Black.
No, he said I sound like Jack Black.
Oh.
He said I sing like Jack Black is what he said. He goes, I called you Jack Black when I saw your band because you sound like Jack Black. And I was like, Are you sure I don't look like Jack Black? Is that what you mean? And he was like, No, you sound like Jack Black. And I was like, okay. And then he was like, and I was like, did I do that ever? I don't think I did that ever. But cool, man. Whatever. I mean, if I walked into a room and it's been 3 weeks and you saw me and went, I saw your show, cool.
Yeah.
That's a win. Welcome to Bacon is My Podcast.
Coming at you.
Coming at you.
What's up, everybody? Today, we are, of course... Whoa. What the fuck just happened?
I don't know.
Ha ha!
What happened?
The screen, the switch thingy.
Oh,
yeah.
Switches and buttons.
Yeah.
They're not on my side, so I don't know what's going on.
No, that was my fault. Yeah. We are brought to you today.
Yeah. And every day.
And every day.
Yeah.
By drinkwildbills.com, grillyourassoff.com, poddex.com. Using the promo code BACON at any of those websites will give you 10% off your entire order.
Yeah, if you want 20% off, just go to Manscaped and use the promo code BACONPOD and shave your nuts.
Yeah. I'm excited because...
We have a new...
Manscaped is also getting into the beard game.
Well, are we there yet? Are we allowed to say this?
Yeah, we're allowed to say this.
We're allowed to do this?
We're allowed to do this.
We
don't have it yet. We don't have it yet.
Oh, man, I didn't know we could say it yet.
But we could say it now.
That's exciting.
Manscaped is sending us beard trimmers.
Yes.
It is.
Full disclosure, we don't know if they suck or not.
Right.
But judging by the smooth shininess of my balls, I bet you my face is going to be nice too.
I happen to agree with you.
Yeah, right? So I think it's going to be good.
Yep. 20% off with the code BACONPOD.
Yeah, so jump on it early.
Jump on it early.
Maybe we'll do an unboxing and
oh yeah.
You know, I'll shave your face or something.
No, I like my beard.
You shave my face or something.
Okay.
I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
We'll figure it out. We're also brought to you by our new sponsor, Mythical Beards.
I was jumping ahead to that because I didn't know we could say the beard.
No, we could say it.
I didn't know we could say it. So.
Mythical
cool.
Beards,
right,
awesome company.
Yeah.
Based out of Florida. Shit. If it's a beard company, and if that beard company is good enough for Mick Foley,
yeah,
to do an awesome collaboration, like
Christmas
Foley
collaboration. Yeti, right?
The Foley Yeti scent, which is in Peppermint Hills forever.
It's in my beard right now because that's the one I picked to check out. And also I got the Kraken Solid Cologne because I'm into solid cologne. I'm a fan of it. It's great to travel with.
And it smells great.
It smells awesome.
It smells great.
Yeah,
so,
it really, really does.
Go over to mythicalbeards.com. Use the promo code BACON15 and you get 15% off your order.
Yeah.
And that's all like the housekeeping, right?
Right. Yeah, that's the stuff that we have to do.
Yeah. Today we have somebody that I've been speaking to for a long time. She's helped us out at So What Fest. She had us interview The Plot and You and Emery.
Which is very cool that was able to happen.
She is a PR powerhouse. That's what I say in the beginning of the episode because
nice.
She reps.
It's alliteration too.
Yes.
It rolls off the mouth.
Things. Bands. I don't know if you've ever heard of like I Prevail.
Like all of them.
Wage War, and Skid Row.
Yeah.
She
interviewed Maynard.
Yeah. Somebody who's been in the music industry for a long time, Miss Amy Sciarretto. She is the founder of Adam Splitter PR.
Yeah.
An awesome PR company that we've been working with for a couple of years now, and we're super excited to have her on the show.
Yeah, and you know what? The show is you can find all that information somewhere else. And we do get into little bits of it here and there, but like we have a really cool conversation with her, oddly enough, about mostly
dogs.
Like dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
dogs are great.
Yeah. She volunteers. She's taken in dogs and fostered them.
Yeah.
She just now adopted a dog she was fostering for a couple weeks because she, like me, also thinks it would be impossible to foster a dog for a couple
I don't
weeks
know how,
and then give it away.
I don't know how to do that.
I don't know how that would happen. If you're a dog trainer, maybe.
Yeah. And if you're listening, you will hear him drink from the bowl.
Yes.
But if you want to see him, head over to strangerhoodtv.com. He's a cute pup. Or check her social medias out down below.
You say pup, but he's a bulldog.
Yeah, bulldogs are pups, man. They are pups.
They're big. Them. They're big pups. They're big smush face.
Just like I'm not gonna take this. My brother-in-law literally came up with this phrase, but
okay,
they're like a pot roast.
Yeah.
They're
the pot roast of dogs.
Just like a pot roast of dogs.
They're the pot roast of dogs. Yeah. That's perfect.
Right? So we talked to Amy.
That's so good.
Right? Right. I can't take credit for it. I can't take credit for it.
Kudos to you.
Yeah.
Sir.
But it was a great conversation. Super happy that she was willing and able to come on and hang out with us for a little while. And we should probably... Yeah, it's the pot roast of dogs, man.
That's going to stay with me for a while.
Good.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. We should. Well, let's get into the interview.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Let's go ahead and do that.
Let's right now.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here.
We are here.
We're here. It's Monday.
Yeah, it is.
For another episode of Bacon is My Podcast. Today, we have PR powerhouse, if you will, the founder of Adam Splitter PR. She's also a journalist. She's done a lot of writing in her time. She's been featured in, little publications like, Hit Parader and Teen People and Spin, little things like that. Ladies and gentlemen, Amy Sciarretto, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We're excited. I'm excited. Like you and I have talked a bit in the past, like, about working together and always like, we're always at concerts together. One of them is actually like, people are very surprised that I went. So I was at the Beartooth at Gramercy show.
Oh, right.
And I went downstairs because we were I was going to see Glasslands because they're buddies of ours. So I went downstairs, went to talk to Josh, ended up bumping into Fleur, and then she was like, "Hey, it's about to start," and I was like, "Okay, cool. I need to find my wife because I've never seen Gramercy have that many people in it."
Oh yeah,
it was
brutal,
unbelievable. And I was like, I texted Amy and I'm like, "Hey, you want to like grab a drink real quick?" And then the pit opened up and the whole place was the pit, and I was like, "No, that's not going to happen tonight."
That made it impossible for sure.
Yeah, but I hate going to the city for shows. I hate city, like the venues in the city and the process and the coming home. I think it's more the coming home than anything.
That is a process, coming home.
Yeah, but 9 times out of 10, I'm at Starland.
Right.
Like I'm in Long Island, but I will go to Starland every single show.
Really? Is it easier to get to Starland?
I think it's easier. I mean,
he just hates going into the city.
I don't like going into
his
the
shoulders
city.
Start to go up and stuff. Like he starts to like get this weird stance that he does, and you get all the tension just builds.
Yeah, it's I don't mind going into the city. Like I said, it's coming back.
Right.
It's coming back, and then like getting home late, and then you got the kids and you got the dogs waking up early, and it's always a whole thing the next day. It's like a bang over, but way worse. You know?
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, the Paramount does help a little bit, because
Great
they're starting to get,
it's a great
and that's
venue.
only like 25 minutes for me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll
Where
go
in Long
to.
Island are you? What part of Long Island are you in?
We're in Wantagh, so like
Okay.
where Jones Beach Theater is, like
Mhm.
it's 5 minutes away.
I've been there.
Yeah. Well, you've been to like what 2,500 concerts and shows.
Probably more than that by now, but yes, I've been probably to every regional venue from Connecticut to to Philly.
What venue would you say is like your favorite to see a show at?
It depends on the size of the band. I tend to not love underplays because what happened at Beartooth happens and it gets really
Yeah.
uncomfortable. Like I saw Bring Me the Horizon once at the studio at Webster Hall, which is
That's
big.
small.
That's tiny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was brutal. It was tough. I was like, wow, I feel like I'm gonna die. But it's like
Right.
I don't like Terminal 5 because it's like hard to get to.
And you
But
can't see anything because there's
yeah,
that pole,
right,
the pole in the middle.
right in the center. And I love Irving Plaza. That's like a perennial favorite.
Oh yeah.
I love the Electric Factory / Franklin Music Hall in Philly. That's a good one. I'm trying to think where else. I love the Hammerstein when it's a big show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it really depends on I just I don't love when it's too late or too small and too many people packed in. And I understand, like, it's exciting because it's an intimate show if you're seeing a big band play a small venue, but it can get pretty uncomfortable pretty quick. So I understand that vibe, but
that's one thing I will say. Like, I didn't mind the Beartooth thing because it was Glasslands and then just Beartooth.
Mm-hmm.
I got home by like 45-minute train ride back. I was home before like 11:30.
Yeah, I like
That's
to be home
unheard of.
So I always say I want to be home the same night of the show.
Yeah, that doesn't usually happen. But
yeah, that's not a normal thing.
Yeah,
it's rare. It's more common these days, but like it's
that's
nice.
True.
When the headline band goes on at 11, I know I'm screwed.
Yeah, it seems more and more shows are just starting earlier, and they're definitely pretty hardcore on their cutoff times as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of them have union fees and just bus overages and stuff like that. So they kind of have to stick to the timing.
Yeah, you don't quite see as many of the bands also being like, "We're gonna do it anyway. Pay the fees. Screw them."
Yeah, right. I mean, it was a small show
now as you used to. Yeah.
If it's a small band or a small tour, it's not really, that doesn't really matter. But if it's like, one of those big, like festival shows or like big,
right,
a big triple bill or something, yeah, that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Now, well, even local shows, I find that those have been like, we were just at one yesterday, and that ended before midnight. I mean, we played one last month, and it was like
they wanted us.
They wanted us out by like 12:30.
Even bars and clubs are now.
It's getting weird.
It's hard to do all nighters these days.
I'm okay with that.
Too old. Too old.
I'm all right with
21, that. Sure. Not I'm not 21 anymore. My body lets me know.
Yeah. What so like you got a background in like you worked for Roadrunner, and you did like a lot of like promotion for hard rock and radio and stuff like that. I did
radio video promo when I started.
Yeah. What made you like go, oh well, PR seems like something I'm pretty interested in?
Well, I didn't have a choice at Roadrunner. I didn't have a choice. I got told I was being moved to that department because they were changing the structure of the company and the way the company was changing, and the radio department was changing because I was in the radio department for several years and kind of really growing in that department. But they wanted to make some changes, so they moved me over to the PR department because they wanted me to stay with the company. So I said, okay, cool. I mean, I already was working with because I was writing for so many publications. Over time, I already knew editors and other writers, and it made it a pretty simple transition. That's Wilbur drinking in the background, by the way. If you hear a lot of,
we heard that before when you didn't have the camera going. He's like, "Is she churning butter?" And I was like, "No,
what is happening?
I think that's a dog drinking from a bowl."
Yeah, no, he is. He is like, it's like he's at a trough. But I was already, very friendly with or had worked for most editors and publications So it was an easy transition to switch over to press because I already had relationships with a lot of these people. So it was a seamless transition. And um, whether you're doing radio or video or press, it's the same mentality and the same approach and the same job. It's just two different sector of the media. So it was it was an easy transition.
That's awesome.
So we've heard Wilbur, we saw Wilbur, and we just found out that Wilbur has been adopted as of yesterday, you said?
Yes, I was fostering him for 2 months. But I mean, the minute he walked in here, I knew he was never leaving. But yeah, he was.
I've always wondered about people, because I've thought about fostering dogs. I don't have a place where I can do it anymore right now, but even later on. But it's always seems like I don't know that I could foster an animal and then give that animal to somebody else.
Of course. A lot of people say, it's called a foster fail because you become connected to them, you become attached to them, they become, ensconced in their routines. It's really hard. Some people do it because they want to get the help to get the dogs ready, and some people do it actively, and they foster a different dog every couple of months. I can't do it personally. I admire the people who can, but I can't. I mean, I just see him in a routine because he was a stray. Nobody ever came for him. And I just see how he's settled into his routine here. And I'm like, how could I upset that? He's very sweet, and he's just my type. He's my speed. He's a sweetheart. I love him. I just lost my bulldog Higgins after 10 years.
Oh, no.
In March of last year. It was the worst thing that ever happened to me.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Thank you. I had him from when he was 8 months old. So, 8 weeks old until he was well over 12. So, it was a big loss. It was a big, change because dogs are like children. Having a dog is like having a child.
Absolutely.
People try to tell me it's not the same. It is the same because, you have to take care of them. You have to make arrangements for them. If you're going out of town or you're going somewhere, you have to make sure that you meet all their needs. You have to make sure they go to the bathroom, they get food, they get water, they get medication, they get nourishment, they get love. You're paying for all the bills. It's like, how's that not having a child? So, when he didn't have Higgins anymore, it was very difficult adjusting to not having that routine. So, he just came into Wilbur came into my life at the right time.
Had you been fostering animals before that, or why
I have fostered in the past. I adopted another dog that I fostered, Titus, who's also a bulldog. So, so I've done it. Yes, I've rescued most of the pets that I have too.
How old is Wilbur?
The shelter, they guesstimated that his age was 8. Personally, having had bulldogs my whole life, I don't think he's 8. I think he's closer to 5. He doesn't have that grayed out muzzle. He just his teeth are really, really white, which is an indicator that he's probably younger than
pretty
that.
young.
My vet examines him will know because he's got to get the full exam by my vet. So I'm closer to 5.
That's awesome. And do you think that it was harder to get him at 5 than and get him to obey and be obedient and that kind of stuff, and transition him to house training and whatnot at 5 versus when they were a baby and doing it that way? Or
when they're a baby, you have definitely more control over the situation. However, he was already housebroken. He's had one accident.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that was because I didn't get him fast enough to get him out the door. But no, he's fully housebroken. He sits, he listens. He's very much acclimated to the routine. He's in the house routine and in the house rhythm. So no, it was very. Sometimes it takes longer. We always tell people, because I volunteer at a dog shelter as well. I always tell people it takes 2 weeks. You got to let them decompress. They were just in a scary place. They need to decompress. They need to learn all the smells. They need to learn, the people who live in the house. So it takes them 2 weeks to get adjusted. You have to just give them that time to decompress, get to know things, and settle in. So I let him do that. But then the first 2 days, he was totally settled in.
Nice. Yeah, we found that with our dog too. We brought him home, and he was maybe 6 weeks old when we or maybe 6 or 7, something like that. And it was we brought him home, and immediately he one time in the house he had an accident, but other than that, he always walked over even as a baby, walked over to the door and just learned quick, acclimated really fast and everything.
Yeah.
You just pay attention, you know.
Yeah,
They give you signs, they talk to you, they
they're
communicate.
excellent communicators. Dogs are excellent communicators.
My boxer. So my boxer, second night he was housebroken.
Yeah,
and he, like you said, like 8-9 weeks, whatever. I have a mix. He's a half Boston Terrier, quarter bulldog, and quarter beagle.
Yeah,
and he looks like a mini boxer.
He does look like a mini boxer. It's pretty
he's
adorable.
awesome. But he's 2 years old, and for whatever reason, in the middle of the night, he just has to go. Yeah. He has to go to the bathroom, and he doesn't come to get us or nothing like that. And we've tried everything. Like I'll set alarms for like 2 a.m. and go, okay, let's go let you out and come back in, and then he still craps on the floor.
Wow.
2 years later. I don't know. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's because like he's smaller and like just I don't know, maybe his bladder or can't hold it. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Bruce has my dog's Bruce Wayne. His dog is Bane. So we have that dichotomy going on. I can never let them meet.
Yeah.
No, they met. They had a good time. But yeah, I got to take Bruce out at about. I'm up late, so it's like 2 a.m. Between 1 and 2 a.m. that he's got to go out anyway. So we go out and we do the little walk and everything. And he does I'm going to go. And then it's like, all right, go. And then it's like run around the yard 6 more times. And I'm going to go. And it's like, okay, go. And it's like, I have to be facing true north. And it's like, I don't know.
Very routine oriented.
What that means. Yeah. So they're pretty entertaining. It's pretty great. How did you land on, it sounds like you've had bulldogs. How did you land on bulldogs as your spirit animal?
Well, look at them.
Well, other than they're awesome, yeah.
Other than they're really the cutest things ever, and they're so cute that they make people experience cute aggression.
Right.
When I look at them, I'm like, I want to punch something. They're so cute. But growing up, we had dogs all the time. We had Scottish Terriers, and then my mom wanted to get a bulldog, and we thought it was an English bulldog, but it was an American bulldog.
Okay.
I had him growing up, and I just always loved their little wrinkly faces. Anytime I saw one in the city, commuting to and from work. Hold on a second. Hey, hold on. Guys. Sorry. Midnight, my cat, my black one-eyed cat, and sometimes him and Wilbur decide to play and chase each other, and I'm always like, worried that somebody's going to get hurt. Typical mom.
Right.
Wilbur is never going to catch Midnight. Like he's never going to catch a cat.
Right.
But Wilbur's coming over again. Oh, there he is. Oh,
I hear him sniffing.
Yeah.
Out his eyes. But yeah, he's I'm playing with his ears now. He's laying on the computer. Okay, well, stop. You're gonna disconnect. You can see his face right there. There he is.
There he is.
Good boy. I just always love their little faces. Like, what's not to love about this little face? But and then I had gone through a really, 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 really bad breakup, and I needed something to get me, motivated and focused on something else. So I got Higgins, and I just wanted a bulldog. I just always loved how cute they were, and I know that they have a lot of issues health wise just because of the way their heads are shaped. I learned through Higgins that they have a lot of health issues, just chronic stuff like eyes and ears, tail pockets. And a lot of people give up bulldogs when they get them because they get them and they think, oh, they're so cute. And then they get the first $800 vet bill and they're like, all right, I'm out. So,
yeah.
It's really, so I just always love them. I just love their little faces because they look miserable, but they're not. They always have resting bitch face, but they're really an affable breed. They're very loving dogs. They're very loyal. They're very easygoing. They're little couch potatoes. People think they're not smart. They're very smart. They just do what they want when they want. So
they're independent.
Yeah,
independent and loyal.
Yes, and then
not good swimmers. No,
they need. If I took them, had to take and they're near bodies of water, they'd be wearing probably 2 swimmies, and life preservers.
Yeah, they swim like a bowling ball.
Yeah, no, how could they keep that head above water? They need to be wearing like a ring, like a floaty over their heads.
Yeah,
because their heads are so heavy.
We brought Bruce. He's he's a French Bulldog Boston Terrier mix, so he's a little bit longer and his head's smaller and everything, but he's still smush face. And so we were like, okay, can he swim? Can he not swim? His legs are a little longer. So we brought him in like a pool and we were like, okay, we're gonna see what happens. And we let him go, and he was just like, I'm terrified and freaking out. But he didn't sink, so we're good with
Yeah, no, if any of my dogs were ever near a pool, they would definitely need to be wearing swimmies, 2 sets of swimmies, and
Yes.
life preservers. Their heads, they would just go whoops and hit the ground.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we don't have a pool here, but whenever we set up the pool, little one, my little one, he's not a water dude. He is not into the water. He'll drink from it. Like we'll have like we have a water table that the kids play with, and and he'll drink from the water table. But once it comes to like putting them in a pool or a bath or anything, no thanks. Hard pass. Hard pass for him.
What's up, guys? Going to talk to you a little bit about our sponsors real quick. Just want to start off with grillyourass.com. If you are going into grilling season like we are, then you know that you always need a little rub. You always need a little sauce. You need something that's going to help your grilling get better. Help those chicken breasts, right? They get a little dry sometimes. You want to make sure you're saucing them up. You want to make sure those ribs have got a nice dry rub and a saucy rub. Go to grillyourassoff.com. Check it out. I've used their stuff. It's delicious. 10% off with the promo code BACON.
Another place you can go to get 10% off with that promo code, drinkwildbills.com. They've got delicious sodas. They've got all sorts of different flavors, from sarsaparilla to birch beer to you name it. You got your root beers, you got your cream sodas, you got your creamsicles.
Yeah. Sugar-free for you guys.
Sugar-free.
the waistline.
Indeed. And also, they've got some great jerky stuff. They've got the brisket bites are A+. A+. And if you go there, go to drinkwildbills.com, use the promo code BACON, get 10% off.
One more place you can use that same promo code BACON is our oldest sponsor, Poddex. If you're a podcaster, if you are a budding interviewer, if you are just somebody that has a hard time talking to people every now and then, or want to do something fun with your friends, check out poddex.com. They have these decks of cards, 50 cards per deck, 50 questions. Check it out. Learn things about your friends, learn things about people, learn how to talk a little bit more, and be a little bit more comfortable. Always use the promo code BACON. Again, to get 10% off your order. They got cool swag too.
Indeed. And last but not least, of course, always frame the balls.
Yes.
Is that what you do? Frame the balls.
Frame the balls?
Well,
You could frame the balls.
You could. But if you got a bush, it's just not. It's the summer.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Use the Lawnmower 4.0. Use the perfect package and go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code BACONPOD. You get 20% off your order. And they've got all sorts of great stuff. If you're a guy who's looking to feel so fresh and so clean.
Indeed. And not only do you get 20% off, but you also get free shipping.
Free shipping?
Shine up those balls. Get rid of that bush. Clean yourself up. And if you don't clean yourself up, start.
Yeah.
Bacon Pod. 20% off. Free shipping. Check it out. Thank you to our sponsors. Thanks for hanging out. What's your bacon?
Well, bulldogs, you got to like scrape them all out.
Yeah, the folds and everything.
Yep, they have. Yep, I have to clean their I have to clean the wrinkles every day with a baby wipe and keep them dry because they can get yeasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they can get painful. Yeah.
So I also wanted to ask you, just to get back into some of the other stuff that you do. We can talk about dogs. We can talk about dogs all day, though. We can definitely do that. So I was interested because I saw that you in your writing, you've written about a lot of things, but you at the beginning, it kind of like was really dedicated to the music business, but then you kind of made a shift and you went over to some fashion and was beauty and fashion like a thing that you kind of always enjoyed writing about and doing as well? Or is that something you fell into? Or is that like a job you got and then got good at? Or was it something you wanted to do? Like, how did
it was something I wanted to do. Like when I first started writing about music, I just loved music. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to write about it because I liked writing. And then I learned quickly when I started that I could get access to the bands I like, talk to them, get music early, get it for free, get tickets to shows for free. All that was really like, wow, awesome. The stuff I get to love. I get the stuff I love. I get paid to do it. And I'm also getting all the stuff that I would be purchasing for free. That was really a huge perk for me.
Yeah.
Because and it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to do this so I get free stuff. I was like, I love doing this and I get free stuff on top of it. That was like a huge, like, wow, this is amazing. I can't think of anything better. And I always wanted to, because I'm very into fashion and beauty. I'm into makeup. So I was like, somebody I worked with connected me with somebody who ran an online beauty publication. And I was like, oh, and I can get all the stuff that I like that way, write about it, tell people what I like about it so that other people use it and it doesn't get discontinued, because that happens a lot,
right.
in the product world. So I just started doing that and I just love doing it. And it just, writing is very easy for me. Writing, I'm retired from it now. I don't really do much of it at all these days. But writing is a very easy task for me. It's not challenging at all. It's like not challenging. No, it is. Like it just comes naturally to me. So
gotcha.
It was very easy for me to take an early morning gig writing about fashion and beauty. When I used to write for Bustle, it was just very easy for me to do before I started my day, because, it didn't take me long. It was something I enjoyed. It was just a way to make a little extra money doing something I really liked.
Nice.
That's awesome.
What did you prefer in when you were doing it? Like, what kind of writing did you prefer? Did you prefer to do interviews with people, or did you prefer to do like, let me talk about this thing I like, or review this thing, or just talk about my opinion?
It depends on what I'm writing about. With music, I preferred to interview bands. That was always what I preferred, because I like to get the insight. And at that time, you could help the fan, and the reader would learn more about the band that way, because now they can just go on, Instagram and see what their favorite band ate for lunch. But back then, it was, you were really giving them that behind the scenes look. And on the like beauty and fashion side, I tend to prefer to review stuff.
Yeah.
I you were saying though about the writing coming naturally to you. Like I like to write stuff like on the blog that we have on the website and stuff. Some people just can't. They just don't feel comfortable with putting words together and having them like really cohesive and stuff. It does come kind of naturally to like you and myself, but like I wonder why. I don't know why there's like a disconnect with stuff like that. I'm not,
Well, that the brain working faster or slower than the hand or the mouth,
Yeah,
that's true.
My brain works probably faster than my hand, but slower than my mouth.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the thing that finds that connection for some people and that disconnect for other people. What moved you away from that? Like it came natural to you, it was something you enjoyed, and then you shifted out of it, where you just kind of like, they retired your award for like once you get so good at things that like there's no point in doing them anymore, because no one's ever going to do them better than you. What is it that moved you to PR? What kind of, was that a natural thing for you, or were you just like, I'm tired of this, I want to move to this, but stay in the music industry? Or
I was doing both. I was doing both. I always did everything concurrently. I always had side hustles. I never turned down a gig. I worked at Sirius. I was on Liquid Metal when it was Heart Attack, while I worked at Roadrunner. I just always took the side gigs. It was just, I enjoyed doing it. Why say no? I love doing this. I don't want to do anything else. So why would I say no and then get to make extra money? So I was always writing when I worked at Roadrunner. And then when I started my own business, I stopped writing about music just because it could be a conflict of interest. And then I only really write a little bit about beauty and fashion now, but, just because I really enjoy it. But I stopped doing writing because I just don't have time.
Gotcha.
I'm far too busy running a business to be able to write effectively. And I feel like it's much harder these days. Language is becoming so, it's evolving in a very unique way. And I think I just don't have the time to, I think, do it as well as I could.
Gotcha. What do you do when you're incredibly busy? What do you do to unwind? What's your kind of like, is it just sit with the dog and the cat, or is it, do you cook? Do you, are you?
I started cook to save my life.
Okay, all right.
So my self care slash something I love to do is I've been volunteering at a dog shelter for 10 years, an animal shelter for 10 years, walking dogs. And
Okay.
I've worked with thousands of dogs over the years. Some of them are very challenging cases. Some of them are just really great dogs that ended up in just bad situations. Some are great dogs that just needed a little help of somebody working with them to get over some behavioral humps, whether it's guarding or leash biting or stuff like that. It's very rewarding for me because it takes me out of my own head. It stops me from thinking about work all the time. And you're working with someone who can never repay you, and that's why you should do those things because you're helping somebody, and that's the only reason you should do it. I always say, they had like a dry erase board that had that quote, and I try to apply that in my life. You haven't lived today, and so you've done something for somebody who can never repay you. And I truly believe in living my life that way and helping others and being nice to people until they give you a reason not to be. And with working with homeless dogs, you really learn a lot about resilience and survival and getting back up when you're down. Like, these dogs have been through a lot. Some of them have been through the worst of humanity. And they teach me so much about survival and resilience. And it's really, it's difficult. It's really hard some days, but it just teaches me, how to put others first. It's a really, really powerful thing to do. And I haven't been able to do it the last 2 months because I'm having back issues and I have to get an epidural. And as soon as I get that, I can't wait to go back. But right now it's like my right leg is a little weak because it has sciatic problems, sciatic nerve. Everybody has it apparently.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I've been talking to so many people once I posted about it. They're like, "Oh my God, I have the same issue." But I can't do it right now just because I'm not confident in my strength. And these dogs are like 75 to 100 pounds. So
Right.
I need to be peak functioning in order to do it. So I'm going to go back to that as soon as I get the epidural, which is probably in a couple weeks. So yeah, that's what I love doing that because it really teaches you how to get outside of your own head and put somebody else first.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. And I'm sure also, I mean, learning how to work with an animal that's not cooperating and has issues and can't communicate with you in the way that a person could, probably has many benefits into when you move over into somewhere else in life where you're working with some person that is being difficult.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It really teaches you how to learn to communicate and how to read a situation. Like I said, I can tell in 10 years of doing this, I've only been bitten 4 times and none of them required stitches, surgery, nothing, didn't even really break it. But I believe that because I've learned to read the signs, I know what to look for when that's going to happen. And that's why I'm lucky. But yeah, I've learned how to like diffuse situations or how to handle or not give up. And I've definitely applied that to my work for sure. It's definitely something that has a ripple effect.
How, like, do you find yourself reading body language, like even when you're not even trying to, you're just kind of like noticing things?
So yes, like how people's eyes move and their stiffness. Yes.
Right. Probably pets too. You probably could. I imagine the more you know, the more you're walking down the road and you see somebody that's like just unable to deal with their animal because they don't understand what that animal's trying to tell them, and you're seeing it. Like. I'm sure that you've probably been helpful in numerous situations with people where you've been like, "Hey,
you see him side eyeing you, or you see him stiff, just back up."
Right.
Yeah. I one thing I wanted to ask, like, in terms of like the PR stuff, and I'm sure that you apply some of this to that, but how often do you guys deal with crisis management with like the company?
Quite a bit. Like sometimes we do it like really quietly. It's not something we advertise.
Right.
We advise and we help somebody who has a situation. We help them navigate it. We help them address it, deal with it, recover from it. And that's very challenging too, because you have to kind of put a different hat on and look at it in a very clinical and technical way. And kind of put like emotion aside sometimes because you're got to help somebody kind of navigate that situation. And sometimes we just have it where we might have an artist who is, that either has a reputation or says things a lot online or did something, and it upset people at a show. There's tons and tons and tons of different things out there that can happen. But yes, we deal with it, and it's our job is to, help keep an artist's profile and their reputation, their perception by the public and the media as clean as possible. It's not always easy because a lot of them, sometimes, a lot of artists are the creative types tend to stir the pot. That's what they do. That's what good art does. But sometimes you have to help deal with separate the art from the artist and help kind of navigate those waters, which can be pretty challenging. Yes.
Have you ever taken on like a crisis management case that you've regretted doing? You don't have to tell us anything like that, but like any details.
No, it's never been anything so like, oh my God. I've had a few artists deal with things that were pretty difficult for them. And, but no, there's never been anything where I went, oh God, no. A lot of times it's been helping artists I already work with or helping just artists I know or clients that I know. But no, it's never been anything where I was like, oh, where somebody was like, did something really, got accused of something fucked up and really did do it. No, it's never been anything that I regretted. But when it gets dicey, you just have to be like, look at it through a really unbiased lens. You just have to look at it as a job.
Right.
You have to just look at it head on and how to attack it.
So we have a lot of our listeners and a lot of our guests have been bands that are at varying levels of where you can be in the industry. Everything from bands that are doing big tours to bands that are in a van and getting around to bands that are prepping to someday get in a van and tour around. And a lot of them have questions about PR and stuff. So at what point would you say a band, what things do you think a band needs to have kind of going already before they reach out to a PR company, or where should they be in their business before they reach out to a PR company?
Yeah, well, they have to. I get this a lot. It's like, you should definitely have a little bit of a machine in place. Even if you're just a small local band, you should definitely have some friends in the local scene, whether it's a local radio station or a blogger or a publication, while you're, really in your market and like growing as a local band, you should make sure that you have that, you have at least, reached out to or made friends with your local media and got them to cover you. So they're just a little bit of a base there. I just say you have to, for us personally, we're not really working with anybody that's not signed or managed just because we don't have the bandwidth. That's just not the level. Like it's a lot more time to try to break through on something that's so new, and it's just, you're just not ready. It's not like just saying it's not worth time. It's just that it's not ready for PR. There has to be like a bit of development that's already happened before somebody can start getting PR. But things bands can do it. That's Midnight right behind me right there. He's got one eye, but he sees everything. So I think what I always tell young bands, like, just get a little bit of buzz going, be as proactive as you can, do what you can. And then, you'll have a little bit of a base when you either do get signed or get a manager and are ready for PR. But I think you have to have played some shows. You have to have a good active social media presence, maybe a little bit of local coverage. That's the things that I suggest before you're really ready for PR. You really have to, have a little something going.
There has to, that's the thing nowadays too. And we both played in bands like pre-social media stuff. Mm-hmm. And then now with the social media stuff and now the advent of being able to set up a studio in your house and stuff like that. Right now, you should be able to have, you should have like a package of some sort that you can deliver to somebody.
Absolutely.
And you have to have that. If you don't have a product, like something in a package that you can be like, here, this is what we do and this is what we are.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
difficult.
I always like to ask, I appreciate the answer. I know you get asked that a lot. And I know like every PR person that we've even had on the show, I still ask the same question to, just because I know that there are people listening to the show.
Sure.
And it's like, there are bands that are not ready for PR that will go to a PR company that will then take money from them.
Yes.
And they won't get what they want to get out of it because they won't be equipped to make the most out of it.
Right. Yeah.
or the PR company won't even be able to do as much with it. So as much as I can, I always like to get a little bit, just something so that somebody listening will go, oh, okay, maybe we need to, maybe we do need to do this more. Or, the person in the band that's pushing it can tell the person that's not, that doesn't think it matters that, okay, listen to this.
Like you can't, like I tell people, like, yeah, I'm not going to take anybody's money if I can't really, if there's, because starting from ground zero like that takes time. That takes investment of time and following up and educating the media, and that takes longer than with a band that already has a record or has kind of like an established buzz, and it's like a lot of people don't realize that there's the cost involved, because you have relationships, you have staff, you have time that you have to educate, you have to reach out to media. It's a lot of work, so it's like, that's why I say if a band's not ready, like it's just going to be a waste of their money. And I will never take somebody's money if I can't, we were all, just ethically, if it's not ready, it's like incubate a little bit more, grow a little bit more.
Yeah. We even found that when we started the podcast, it was like we both, are coming from places where we have bands that have a certain amount of reach. So our show was able to have a certain amount of reach immediately, and we were able to make some contacts that we had. But still, it was like reaching out for the show. It's like, it's a new thing. It was,
it's
it was year one. It was year two, trying to get that to a point, and everything takes time.
That time in to grow it. Like I always tell people this too, like even people requesting interviews, like we know in advance like what a band is and isn't going to do, because it's never arbitrary. And like if bands had all the time in the world, I would say yes to everything, because
of course,
I have no problem with that. It's just some bands like, hey, I'm only doing this, this, and this, or you get an hour a week from a band and you have 100 hours of requests. So that's why I try to explain to people. It's like, listen, it's not me saying no just because I feel like it. I'm just going along with what, and we have certain artists that just do limited press, and that's also, it keeps the mystique. It keeps them, you don't know everything. So that's why some of them do limited press. And that's, that's not capricious either. That's a strategy. And that's also very careful. That requires not doing interviews requires a lot of press strategy, because you have to seed things to make up for where the artist isn't doing interviews. You have to make sure
they can disappear.
Relevant. Exactly. You have to make sure they're visible and relevant. Exactly. And it's like I said, I don't like turning people down ever. That's not like I'm a people pleaser, and that's what the job is. You're people pleasing the artist and the media. And it's a certain. I try to explain that like to people that there's certain reasons. It's like not because we don't think somebody's interview techniques are good or we don't like them. It's just there's certain levels of things that bands do. And so I have certain bands that have done everything. They're like, listen, unless it's new or this or this or this, I'm not doing it. And that's because like they could be like, hey, on this album we're doing that, and then on the next album they'll go back and they'll do everything. So some artists are in the right to not do interviews as well. So it's a balancing act.
It's not because you are the destroyer of hopes and dreams.
Well, I've been called that before. I know.
I had to bring that up. I had to bring it up.
I've been called that before, and because I told somebody they couldn't have a photo pass to Warped Tour, which was not my decision to make, because Warped Tour press decides who gets photo passes.
Right. Yes.
And it's like no, I would never. It's not like I don't.
The
like
person that rescues animals and is the destroyer of hopes and dreams.
Everybody, I know. And it's just like people don't understand. Like a lot of times, like this isn't a school project. This is. A band's image and perception and their public personas, those are all very important things to getting them out into the world. You know what I mean? So, and getting the music in front of the people who need to hear it or want to hear it. So it's like a lot of moving parts going this stuff, and none of it is just arbitrary. And like a lot of times people, I have some bands that don't want to be photographed live unless it's by photographers that they know, because sometimes they'll be like, look at this horrible picture of me. I look terrible. Get it taken down. So it's you just have to, there's just a fine line, like of how much press certain bands want to do. So,
Well, and it's tough because they're also battling the fact that everyone in an audience has a phone that can record and show photos of things and send things out to whoever and how many people there are. So it's like there's got to be some kind of strategy for everything. How do you like? I've noticed recently, or the more that I'm reading and finding now, that is that like we went through this boom of social media, growing and growing, growing, and everybody growing their social circles in this giant way. And it seems like now we've reached the apex of that, and it's starting to circle back in. And I'm starting to see things that are saying like people are making their social circles smaller, and we're seeing the demise of Twitter and Facebook and all these things. How do you see like strategies changing in that new era? Are you noticing, or are you hearing any of those same things, or is it just kind of like business as usual? It's going to be fine.
No, I see it. I've seen some people, post less or pop off social media or pull back on it. I think people spend. I mean, it's the age old argument. Like, would you rather have somebody who has 500,000 followers and maybe 100,000 are engaged, or like 25,000 followers where 25,000 are fully engaged?
Right.
Yeah.
It's like quantifying that and the metrics of that is shifting. You can have a podcast that might have 5,000, followers, but every one of them is invested, as opposed to something that's got like 100,000 followers and maybe 5 are.
Right.
So you have to. I try to look at it with a wider lens, because a lot of times managers will look and say, "Oh, it has this. Nope, not doing it. It's not big enough reach." But then I try to sometimes point out, "Well, here, this, and this, or this artist did it." Try to show them that the value of it, and that's the, it tells the bigger picture and has the more broader picture and the whole story, where it's just not like Facebook numbers. Like I always use the example of like, I am a Patreon supporter of a few podcasts that I love, and I listen to them from start to finish. And sometimes I look at their social media, because if it's like a true crime, they might post crime scene photos, or if it's like a, just a talk podcast that I like, I want to see who's coming on the next episode or whatever. And I can always look at their socials, but that doesn't mean I follow them. And I'm a Patreon supporter and I don't even follow them on social.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So you can't always justify or quantify the value of an outlet like that by Facebook numbers.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I financially support these because I want to keep listening to them, even if it's a $5 Patreon a month. Still, I'm spending money on it because I want them to continue, but I don't follow them on social. So that shows you that like it's just not an accurate metric.
Right. Yeah, I agree 100%. It's such a ebb and flow type thing, because people are joining, jumping on, and leaving all the time.
Right.
And then you've got, you don't always know if it's bots or if it's real or if it's this or if it's that. So all you can really look at is the engagement.
Right.
And even then it's like, well, the engagement where? Because some people are here, some people are here.
Yeah.
So
it's hard to quantify that in podcasts too. It's like, are the metrics for podcasts are the worst metrics ever.
Really hard.
Oh my God. They're the worst.
They are.
They're the worst metrics ever. I hate it.
We switched providers because we couldn't get information.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And guess what? We're still not getting information.
We're still not getting it.
It's got to be a challenge. I don't envy that.
It's the demographics for this place. This one is like non-existent.
Although since you brought it up, I will say we do appreciate our Patreon people. So thank you guys so much for being on there. We do love you guys.
Like sometimes it's just like a lot of times if I can't quantify a certain podcast or outlet and our manager really wants that information, I will also use just my relationship with them, or I'll say, hey, they do a really thorough interview, or listen to this interview they did. It was really, really engaging, and it has a lot of positive comments on it from listeners. So it's like there's always ways to kind of point out how things are working or going accordingly to that. So there are other ways that are maybe a little bit less quantifiable but still tangible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I can't do like a good
Oh, is this your transition?
Yeah, no, I can't do a good transition.
This is killer. This is a killer transition.
But this transition is because we have a sponsor.
Yes.
That helps us pay bills.
Yay,
one of them. And the one that we use every show. And we get our
We gave them a segment.
Yeah, we gave them a segment. So we have our guests. So it's participate. It's a company called Poddex. And what Poddex is decks of cards. And it's like conversation starters, almost like Cards Against Humanity.
Similar. Yeah.
Exploding Kittens, that's the other one. So what they do is they have different decks. Within each deck is 50 cards, and within each card is a question. What we like to do is have our guest pick a deck and then pick a random question from that deck. So we have, excuse me, we have the interview deck. We have interview deck 2, the episode deck. Would you rather? What the heck? What the fuck? And how dare you?
Oh, so I have to pick. I'm leaning towards. So I have to pick a deck, and then there's a question from the deck.
You pick a deck, and then we will randomize your question.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, give me the decks again, because there was 3 that I liked, and I can't decide between them.
Interview 2, episode, would you rather, what the heck, what the fuck, and how dare you?
I like how dare you, what the fuck, and would you rather.
All right. Well, which one would you like out of those?
I'm trying to think what the fuck could be.
Well, it could literally be anything from the most benign question ever to holy shit,
to how dare you?
I don't know you.
It really is everything.
I feel like would you rather is probably the most fun though.
All right, let's do it.
It is a fun one.
It is a fun one. And again, the way that they have these decks, it's like I don't know.
9 or really X-rated, maybe.
It really is.
Yes.
It's like either G or X. So you never know. You never know. So Mike is going to shuffle the decks because I cannot shuffle. That is well known. It is well known in these circles. And while he's doing that, I will just tell everybody within the sound of my voice to go to poddex.com. And while you're there, you can check out these decks and many others. They have an app that you can check out. They have some cool swag. They have t-shirts that are soft style. They don't rough up your nipples like t-shirts sometimes do. We all hate that shit.
Amy, you know band t-shirts. They could be shitty as hell.
Yeah.
If they rub up against you, they'll like
oh, they're chafy, they're boxy, they don't look good. Not the Poddex ones. They're the soft style fitted. They're nice. The decks, the shirts, everything. If you decide you want to buy something, just use the promo code BACON
because everything is better with bacon,
and you will get 10% off your entire order.
All right, so I'm going to fan these out here.
All right, I'm going to take the finger of power, and I am going to go from my left to my right, your right to your left. You tell me when to stop, and that'll be your question. So we are moving now.
Stop.
All right. Let's see what we got. Oh, see, we went benign with this one. Would you rather get a shoulder massage or a foot massage?
Oh my God.
That's lame.
Can we put that one back? Can we do another one?
We can. That one's gone.
I want raunchy. I want a tough one.
Let's see where we go. If this doesn't work, we'll just look at them.
Okay. Stop
right now.
All right. Good one. No whammies.
Would you rather have your face printed on money or your own small town named for you in your honor?
Oh gosh. I would say a town named after me, because if you print it on money, I feel like people could draw on it and put
that's true.
Face and stuff. So I'm gonna go with the small town named after me.
Small town named in your honor.
Plus, I mean, we've all seen what happened with Bitcoin and stuff.
That's true.
So
that's true. You don't want to be one of those.
You don't want to. You're to think tanking though.
No,
so
indeed.
Okay.
Would the town be? What would the name of the town be? Would it Amyville?
I would name it Amyville after my dog.
I like it.
There we go. I love it.
See,
I love it.
There we go.
So before we start signing off here, I do have to ask you, because you are a fellow Deftones fan.
Mm-hmm.
Love them.
And I love the Deftones. I have I think I've seen them 14 times or 12 times, something like that. What is your favorite Deftones show story? And it's regardless of I mean, I've seen them a lot, and Chino is either on point or not so much on point.
He's off point, right? No, yeah, it happens. I think it happens with the best bands.
Absolutely.
You always have, they're human beings, and sometimes things are off, and it could be the sound guy, it could be, the equipment, the venue, it could be vibe, because something could happen that day, it could be anything. So what do I have? Do I have any Deftones stories?
What's your favorite Deftones show story?
Well, this one it's actually really personal, because many years ago. I think it was 1998. I think because I had interviewed the band several times, covered them several times, and I always stayed in touch with them because this was back in 1998. It was like after Around the Fur came out, and I went to see them, and they played. I think it was like November '98. It was or '99, one or the other, and it was at I think it was '98 at Asbury Park Convention Hall, and it was November, and it was cold, and it's down the shore, and the venue was on the boardwalk. And I remember after the show, I had an Around the Fur poster, and I got the entire band to sign it, personalize it, and I immediately framed it, and it's still in my kitchen to this day.
Nice.
But I remember talking to Chi because Chi was a writer, and he was always talking. We talked about our favorite writers and stuff, and he actually signed it Walt Whitman because I told him how where I grew up. Walt Whitman was like right outside of Philly and Camden. But I just remember sitting outside on the boardwalk with the whole band, and like other people were there obviously, but me and she just had a really great heart to heart about writers that we really loved. And he's not with us anymore, which is such a tragedy. But I just never forget that. It was a great time hanging with those guys. It was just always very, very just quality, and it was just like a special moment to get to have a heart to heart with Chi.
That's awesome. That's a great story.
Funny enough, he is the only member of the Deftones that I've spoken to.
Okay.
I met him at Taste of Chaos a few years back, and it was weird because my cousin, she was with us, and they were hanging out with Greeley Estates. She went to high school with all those guys from Arizona, so she was all off hanging out with them. And her boyfriend at the time is like huge Deftones fan. And then all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I didn't realize how tall Chi was. Like he's huge. He's a lumbering man. But I saw him out of the corner of my eye, and like you said, he's like just a super sweet guy. Like
very smart, very well read.
Yeah.
It was good people. It's like, all those dudes are unique, and Chino is he's Chino, and Stefan, I've known him forever. He's very sarcastic and funny. Although I know he's got some theories about things that got a lot of news. And those guys were always really, just they're the White Pony to me. Nothing in the OOs so far in the new millennium has topped that record for me.
I want to get a White Pony tattoo.
It's a good one.
I want to get that as on my list.
Nice.
One of my favorite Deftones things actually was the self-titled record was coming out, and K-Rock was doing Chino de Mayo. And it was I think it was Webster Hall, and it was the first time I had seen them play Teething, and he went into this Nas rap, "Life's a bitch, then you die." Yeah. That's why we get high, blah, blah. And I remember seeing that for the first time, and I was like, that I need to do that kind of music, not what I was listening to. That was like a big moment for me because he's such a captivating front man.
Yeah,
freaking
absolutely.
Awesome.
He's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So I had to ask you my Deftones stuff because I love Deftones.
Anytime. I mean, I like the dynamic between Chino and Steph to me is what makes music so great.
Yes. Yeah.
Steph loves Sugar and Chino loves PJ Harvey. It collides in a beautiful way.
Yeah. Actually, and DJ, our buddy DJ.
PJ Harvey too.
Yeah.
I love both of them.
Have you heard the new Crosses cover of what was it that he sent us?
I haven't heard it yet. I didn't listen to it yet.
I didn't either. I know that I heard something.
Oh, it's awesome. Where did he send it? I'm gonna get this.
I mean, I'm a big fan of the Crosses records.
One more try.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
Okay. It's very good. Very, very good. Highly recommended. So
I will check it out on the way home.
Awesome. So yeah, Amy, thank you very, very much for hanging out.
Thank you for having me. Like I said, I'm sorry I'm in going to bed mode here.
No. You know what? We're going to bed soon too.
Yeah.
It's late. It's Sunday.
Sunday night fun and chill before bed chat. Even though I'm not going to bed now, but
yeah.
Saturday night wrist.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll be up till 2.
Yeah.
You gotta set the alarm for when your dog poops at 2.
Yes, yeah. I gotta take my dog out to poop at 2. You gotta step in your dog's poop in the morning.
Oh, you know what? Another fun new thing that he's doing is he's shitting on the concrete now. It's like he was going out on the lawn, and then all of a sudden this week he was just like shitting on the sidewalk.
The spirit is moving him.
Like, sweet,
you know, he's it's his true north.
Yeah,
that's what he's
there
finding.
you go.
He's finding his true north.
So again, thank you so much for hanging out with us, and
Thanks for having me. It's a lot of fun. I'm glad we got to talk.
Yeah,
good. Cool. I'm glad.
Just let everybody know where they can find everything Adam Splitter and anything you're doing.
Anything, all the Adam Splitter socials will be on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. It's Adam Splitter PR, and you can follow me on Instagram. It's Retto RETTO 777 for Instagram, and just my name, Amy Sciarretto, on Facebook.
Nice.
Lots of cute dog pics.
Yes,
yeah,
we'll have all that links and stuff in the description. Absolutely. And in closing, we would just like to. There was a question that we were asking previously in the "What's Your Bacon in 7 Questions?"
Yes,
and it's that question that everybody should ask themselves every day. What is that thing that makes it a little easier to wake up in the morning? What is that thing that makes life a little bit more enjoyable? Is it music? Is it food? Is it going for long walks on the beach? Is it dogs? Is it walking dogs? Is it smush face farting chunky dogs?
Yeah.
What is it that makes life just a little bit better all the time? Do you remember what the question was?
What
it's
is
very
it?
General. What's your bacon?
What's your bacon?
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thank you. This was fun. I'm glad we did it. Thank you.
This is pot roasted dogs.
It is the pot roasted dogs.
Yeah. Oh, we're back. Sorry about that.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it's awesome to talk via email to I talked emails a lot with her, but to be able to sit down and hang out and talk on more of a personal level,
get to know somebody a little bit more.
I like it, and
that's my favorite part of this thing that we do.
I know everybody's got to kind of plug their thing, but it's nice to talk to the humans there are, not just like the people. I don't know how to say it. How would you say it?
Well, I like to. I like it best when we get past interview mode.
Yeah, right.
And send that away.
Yeah.
I don't like interview mode.
No.
Not into that.
Yeah, I'm glad that was not interview mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer when we get in there because you get to know somebody a little bit more, and then if you're listening, you get to know somebody a little bit more, and if you're hearing about somebody that sounds like someone that you'd be friends with, I just think that's more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I could be wrong. Let us know in the comments, and let us know with the hashtag What's Your Bacon, hashtag Bacon is my pod, and hashtag Jimmy G, you're fucking wrong. If you want to do that,
I love how you just make up these hashtags all the time.
One of them's gonna catch on.
Like, hey,
maybe.
Hashtag movie list.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
Well, let me know what movies should be on Annie's list with
Jimmy
hashtag movie list.
Fucking wrong.
But if you if you hashtag that with hashtag What's Your Bacon and hashtag Bacon is my pod,
we'll find it.
Then we'll see it. We'll know what it is.
We'll see it.
I'm working with the algorithm, man. I'm just trying to work it out.
Okay.
Just trying to work it out.
I get it.
It's 2023, man. Trying to be effervescent. That was my nickname in grade school.
No, we literally just said that when you got the
college. That's what they called me.
No, you put the full Yeti on.
The Boy Scouts. They called me effervescent.
They didn't.
When I was an altar boy. That would be a bad time to be called effervescent.
Yeah. Awkward.
All right, moving on. You can find us at baconismypodcast.com, where you can check out all our episodes. You can check out all our sponsors, get all the special deals, all that kind of fun stuff. You can support us by buying a t-shirt. Mm-hmm. We make good t-shirts. They're cool shirts. They're soft style. Much like pod decks, they don't rough up your nips, right? We ain't here to rough up your nips. We're here to caress your body. Your upper body. It's getting cold out there. There's hats, too. You can check out one of those.
Yes.
If you don't want to support us that way, that's okay. Just give us a 5-star review. That costs you nothing.
Yeah.
But like 5 seconds of your time. But write something. Don't just don't just 5-star, blah. Don't just 1-star, blah. If you like us, let us know. If you hate us, let us know. Right?
Yeah.
We love that. Let us know. Where can they find all your stuff, by the way? You have personal stuff, too. Outside of Bacon Is My Podcast.
Yes.
And Bacon Is My Passion, which you can find on there, too. All the music and everything. But where can they find you?
Me, My Own Self, Mike.
Yeah.
At Me, My Own Self, Mike. On
Indeed.
Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. My band, Something Heavy. At Something Heavy Music. We'll be coming out with a new single soon. I keep threatening it. And the reason why I keep threatening it is so this way I know that I'm going to definitely do it.
Preach.
Jimsy, what about you and your endeavors?
You can find my band Craving Strange at cravingstrange.net. We just put out a brand new song called Mean What You Say. It is on all streaming platforms now. If you go to cravingstrange.net, you can find a link to it as well. Let us know what you think. Let me know if you like it, if you hate it, whatever. Put it to your playlist. Put it to your playlist. Add it to your playlist. Put it to your playlist. Put it to your ear hole. Put it to your ear holes and check it out and let us know what you think. If you want to find me personally, you can find me personally on the socials. Jimmy G Shoes. Find me there. Let me know why you're trying to find me there. I don't know why, but yeah, there's pictures of me. There's pictures of us. There's pictures of my band. There's pictures of my dog.
Your dog.
You know, yeah. Find me there if you want to find me. Let me know why you want to find me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Patreon. Thank you guys so much. You guys are the best. If you want to support the show in a different way, in a more immediate, this is helping you get on with your life way,
Yes.
jump over to Patreon. We have extra shows. We have commercial-free shows. We have special events. We have live things occasionally. We do watch-alongs. We do cooking things. We eat terrible things.
Yeah.
We put horrible things in our bodies for you. In our mouths. In our mouths, you dirty. Stop it.
Dirty.
Why would you stop it? I'm out of here.
All right. Well, don't forget. You should always make sure you ask yourself just one thing.
What's your bacon?
Pot roast.
Yeah, the pot roasted dogs.
Oh, and world peace.